Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another weekly reading vlog, and I wanted to just go through the books that I'm reading right now that you will see me reading and me sharing my thoughts on in this video. So the first book I'm reading is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I read some of this in the last reading vlog, so I have some of my thoughts there, but this is the 5th book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and I am really liking it right now. At the beginning, it took a second for me to get into it just because it was kind of starting different than I was expecting, and I was a little disappointed, but we're slowly but surely getting some of the information that I wanted in the beginning. So I am really liking it now. I'm really sad that this is the last one in Magnolia and BJ's story, but I'm really excited to see how it's going to end. So I'll be reading this one here and there in this video. I'm on page 278, which this is 700 pages, so I'm not even halfway, so I'll be definitely picking this one up a few times this week. And then I wish I had the cover on here. I got this as an ARC, but I believe it comes out today. It comes out tomorrow on April 9th, but this is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. And I didn't realize this when I requested it on NetGalley, but this is a debut from the screenwriter of People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read by Emily Henry, which if you know Emily Henry, you know that she is super popular for some really great romances, and this is a romance as well. So I'm really excited to dive into this because I feel like if she got the job writing the screenwrite for both of Emily Henry's book to movie adaptations, I feel like she's going to do a really great job with this one. And this one is a romance between an author with a really popular book series and a screenwriter, and they went to high school together, and they have something in their past that kind of complicates their relationship, and he ends up being a screenwriter on her book to movie adaptation where she is also in the writing room. And so we have some complications, we have some trauma that they need to work through, and so I'm only about 4% into this one. I started it last night, but I'm really excited to see where this one goes, and I feel like this is going to be a pretty easy read for me. I will say that there is some content warnings at the beginning of this book, so I would definitely check that out before you end up purchasing or starting this book. And then I am also listening to a book that I just started today. I'm only like 5 minutes in, but it's called The Memory Police, and pretty much all I know about it is it's this society and the government is slowly but surely taking and making objects and things disappear from their society, and no one remembers it. So at the beginning, it's the main character talking to her mom, and her mom was telling her these different things that have been taken away. It seems like she is not being affected by this memory police taking away the memories because she remembers all these things. So I'm interested to see how that one goes. I've heard a little bit about it, and I've heard pretty good things, and I believe this one's translated from Japanese, which I have read a couple of translated books, and I feel like they are all really great, and props to the original writer and the translator for making these books communicated well in English and making these ideas and concepts still really great in a different language. I really love seeing how that is done, and I feel like the narrator is really great as well already, so I'm really excited to see where that one goes as well, and I will give you more updates when I have read more and have more thoughts later. Okay, it is Tuesday today, and I wanted to give you an update on the book that I have been reading today. Also, I just did my hair, so it needs to calm down, so don't mind the crazy hair, but I have been reading How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong, and this book, like I said, it comes out today, and so I've been trying to read a lot of it today so that I can post about it soon, but I am really liking it right now. I had read the synopsis before going into it, so I knew there was some sort of trauma in their high school life together, and then they meet again 13 years later. And I have been loving every single aspect of this book. I won't say what the trauma is, but the first chapter starts out with it, so just make sure you look up the trigger warnings for this one before going into it. But I just feel like I am in love with these characters. I just want the best for both of them. It's kind of interesting because it goes back and forth between POVs, but as you know, usually it's different chapters are different POVs, but in this one it switches off at paragraphs and page breaks, so It's kind of interesting, but I feel like I've been able to follow along pretty well with it. I'm at a part where they go back to their hometown and they're kind of experiencing high school stuff together again, and their families and stuff, and it's just like so nostalgic, and I love seeing them both kind of start healing from this trauma together. Me and my husband both went to the same high school. We were friends a little bit. We went to a dance together, but we didn't end up dating until after high school. I feel like I can kind of see our relationship in theirs. We didn't go through anything traumatic together, thank goodness, but I feel like especially now that they're at home in their hometown and experiencing these things together, I just can relate to that so much, so it's been so fun. And like I said, they are working on turning the FMC's book series into a TV show, and the MMC is a screenwriter, and it has to do a lot with the screenwriting of this project, and I have been loving the behind the scenes of that too. I feel like I always love the behind the scenes of any work environment that I'm not familiar with, so that has also been really great. I can't think of one thing right now that I am not liking in this book. I just feel like it's the perfect amount of emotional and side plots and different things going on within the romance that is just growing their relationship and bonding them so much. I think I'm 42% in, and I want to say this might be a new 5 stars. We'll see what else happens, but if you're wanting to pick up a new romance, this one definitely should be on your list, and the cover is beautiful. If I remember, I'll put the cover up here, but I just love covers that are mostly just text with a little bit going on. It kind of reminds me of the 7 Year Slip cover. They're kind of similar with the silhouettes and the text being really large. Anyways, so that's my update right now. I think I'm going to try to read a little bit more. Me and my husband are going to the jazz game tonight, so I don't know how much time I'll have to read later tonight, but hopefully I can continue this one at least tomorrow and hopefully finish it soon. I am so excited to get to the end of this one. I also need to tell you about something exciting that I found out today. So I posted on my Instagram a few days ago about some books that I want from Barnes & Noble, and one of them was the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. It's called Binding 13, and so I was trying to update my Amazon wish list, so I went to put that one on there, and I found out that the Kindle book is free for Amazon Prime users, and I have mentioned this in multiple videos, but I didn't know about this until I came across it one day on Amazon. But there is Kindle Unlimited, which you have to pay for, but there's also Prime Reading, which if you have a Prime membership, you get these books for free, and they have a lot and they're always switching out. And so this one I think just recently came onto Prime Reading, and so I'm so excited about that. I don't know when I'm going to get to it because I do have some more books on my physical TBR for this month that I haven't gotten to yet, but I downloaded it onto my Kindle, and I am just so excited for when I can get to that one because I've been hearing so many good things about that, and because I am finishing up everything that's been published of the Magnolia Parks universe, I want to get into a new series that will just give me all the feelings. So I'm really excited for this one. Like I said, don't know when I'm going to get to it, but it's already on my Kindle waiting, and I might add it into another TBR in the coming months. It is Wednesday today, and I have a couple reading updates and a little haul. So like I said yesterday, me and my husband went to the jazz game, which was super fun. I got a few clips that I'll put in. I did end up reading a little bit in between, like on the timeouts and on the breaks. Obviously I didn't get a ton of reading done, but I have read quite a bit in How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. I think in my last update I said I was really liking it and it could potentially be a 5-star read for me, but I feel like we've fallen off of that now. I'm kind of disappointed because I've been really loving the concept and both of the characters, but I feel like they don't want to be in a relationship, so it's kind of just a situationship type thing, and it's feeling a little bit too much like Friends with Benefits, who also have some trauma together and not like a real connection, and there's not a ton of emotional connection between them. I just feel like I'm not believing their like love story anymore. And so I'm super sad about that, but I think I'm like 70% through, so I have a bit more to go with that, and we'll see if my thoughts change on that one. I have also gotten a few books that I wanted to show you guys. So the first one, I went to Barnes & Noble today. I didn't film any of it, which I'm kind of sad. I was making a TikTok, but I got the 7-Year Slip, and I have been raving about this one on all of my accounts for the last few weeks, ever since I finished it. But my husband's sister's birthday is coming up, and so I wanted to get this for her. We talked about it a little bit, and this is like my new favorite book, so I wanted to get her a copy so that we can chat about it after she reads. I think she'll really like it, so I'm excited about this one. And then I got Little Women. I got this one on Amazon, and it came a little bit bent right here, which I'm so sad about, but I have been seeing people, I've seen a few people do embroidery on the covers of their books, and I had an embroidery business a couple years ago that I stopped doing, but I feel like this is the perfect way to get back into it, just for fun and just to have something fun to do. But if you don't know, Little Women is one of my favorite books of all time. I grew up watching the movies with my mom and my sister, and so I thought this one would be really great to like embroider the flowers and the vines on here, I think is what I'm going to do. So I need to get some string for that matches, but I am really excited about this one. It also has some really pretty illustrations and stuff in here, so it's just a pretty edition even without the embroidery, and it was pretty cheap, so I'm pretty excited about this one as well. I also went to Target today, and they're doing their buy two get one free sale, and I didn't buy any, which I'm kind of sad, but there were just not any books that I was really drawn towards. I feel like I have all of the books that I've been wanting to read already on my TBR cart. I got them for Christmas and stuff, so I need to get through those before I buy any new ones. And I'm actually surprised that I actually went there, checked out the books, and didn't buy any, so props to me, I guess. But yeah, I'm all for saving some money, not buying books, and reading the ones I have. So that is kind of my update right now. I haven't read any more in Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, but I'm hoping to tonight. I'll probably have some time to do that. I tried to read some last night, but I just wasn't feeling it, and I was pretty excited about my book on my Kindle, so I just read more of that, which I'm kind of less excited about now, so maybe I'll be able to get back into Magnolia Parks. I will update you more when I read some more. Okay, it's Thursday today, and it's also my husband's birthday, so I did a little bit of decorating for that, and I'm just waiting for him to get home from work now. I ended up finishing How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong this morning, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really liked the characters and the plot. Like I said, I thought it was really great, and I just feel like there wasn't enough emotional connection in the middle of the book. I felt like the author focused more on the physical connection than the emotional in the middle of the book, and so I felt like we were building up to something really great, and then it just got halted just for a friends with benefits type of relationship, which I didn't love. I love it when it's more emotional than physical. I don't really read spice, so me just skipping it just like, I felt like I skipped the whole middle of the book, but I did like how it talked about some more serious topics, her family and stuff. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. But I really enjoyed the characters, like I said, so I feel like I can't give this one too low a rating. I was gonna give it 3.75 stars, but I ended up settling on 4. And I also have done a lot more reading in Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I read about 112 pages last night, and I have actually been loving it. I was tabbing it the whole time, but I feel like maybe you can tell the tabs start getting a little more crowded the further we get into it, because I've just been loving it so much. I feel like I don't have anything super specific to say, but I feel like we've been getting so much emotional growth. I can't remember if I said that in this video, but we've just been getting so much from Magnolia and BJ. Obviously, they are not perfect and they're making mistakes, but they are growing together as a couple, as well as growing emotionally and mentally themselves, dealing with everything that they have to deal with, and coming to terms with everything that's happened in the past. And there were some really shocking parts with her parents that I thought were so crazy, but I don't want to spoil any of the book for you. But I have actually been really loving it, and I've been liking it a lot more than I was at the beginning. I also ended up finishing the Memory Police on audio, just barely, and I really thought the concept was really cool. I just feel like we were lacking some emotional connection to the characters. I felt like the character was written as she was just telling us facts on what was happening, but no emotion or how that's making her feel. I felt like I wasn't really connected to her or any of the other characters. I think that's the main thing that I didn't really like about this book. And then the author was also writing a book in the middle, so we would get snippets of her manuscript in it, and I didn't really understand the point of that. I also didn't really understand why the things are disappearing and the memories, and like why it ended the way it did. I felt like we were just missing some detail and description, and I don't know if that's just because of the author or because it's been translated. I don't really know. I thought it was still a good story and it kept me invested enough, but I just wish I had more emotionally from the characters in that one. I feel like I'm probably just going to give it 3 stars. It was an okay book, and if you think the concept sounds cool, I would read it, but I don't think you have to by any means. So yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for my husband to get home, and then we are going to dinner. He's going to open his presents that I have over here, and we're going to go to another jazz game, and hopefully I'll be able to read a little bit more when we get done, just in bed before I go to bed. So I will probably update you tomorrow with what I'm reading, and I will see you then. Okay, it is a while later. I forgot to finish this vlog, but I wanted to come on because I do have the last reading updates for the books that I was reading in this video. So I loved this book. I said this at the beginning, but I wasn't sure if I was going to love this because it opened up differently than I thought it was going to, but as you can see by my tabs, I seriously don't have any notes. This book was so good. The emotion that we got in this book and the character development with both Magnolia and BJ and some of the side characters as well. If I had to just read one book or one series for the rest of my life, it would be this book and the Magnolia Parks universe. I would give this 1,000,000 stars if I could. If you haven't read the Magnolia Parks universe and you think it sounds like something that you would like, you need to get into it ASAP. It was so good. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I read some of these books, and let me know if you've read and liked these in the comments below. I hope that you have a good rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video.